The drive to get more help to Puerto Rico is accelerating tonight, but much of what's already arrived isn't getting to the hurricane victims who need it. John Yang begins our coverage.
Across Puerto Rico, many residents still desperately need food, fuel, and drinking water. But at the port of San Juan, thousands of cargo containers filled with supplies sit on the docks, unable to get inland to those in need. Why is that aid so close and yet so far? For one thing, shipping company and local officials say both truck drivers and diesel fuel are in short supply, and roads are badly damaged or blocked. After meeting with President Trump this morning, Acting Homeland Security Secretary Elaine Duke said they're working on it.
We have been working on yesterday, principally getting distribution, that last mile, as they call it. To do that, we had to remove debris, we had to restore roads, we had to clear landslides across the island, and we have done things like airdrops in the meantime.
Cell phone service is also hampered by the lack of diesel fuel for generators.
The cell signal is really bad. In the area I live in, which is Morovis, this is a real problem. Lots of people are looking for places, trying to get a signal to speak to family members outside Puerto Rico and in other places across the island.
Today, Mr. Trump directed Duke to temporarily lift long-standing shipping restrictions, known as the Jones Act, in hopes of speeding deliveries of fuel and other supplies.
I did sign a Jones Act waiver this morning that came in yesterday afternoon from the governor of Puerto Rico that is based on national security needs. The president encouraged us, as he has done throughout this hurricane response and the other two also, to lean forward.
Critics like Democratic Congresswoman Nydia Velázquez of New York said the federal response has been inexcusably slow.
This has to happen soon, not weeks from now, not in late October. This needs to be an immediate priority for Speaker Ryan and the Republican leadership. We need to see action as early as next week.
House Speaker Paul Ryan said FEMA's disaster relief account will get another $6.7 billion by the end of the week. Meanwhile, the Pentagon tapped Army Lieutenant General Jeffrey Buchanan to lead relief efforts. One challenge he'll confront: eliminating a backlog on the mainland. At air bases in Georgia and South Carolina, utility crews and other contractors have been waiting for days for military flights to Puerto Rico.
We're anxious to go, but we're just waiting. Hurry up and wait. We're trying to get there. We're anxious to go.
Eager to get to work to try to relieve the suffering of so many fellow Americans. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm John Yang.
We had a closer look at what it's like on the ground in Puerto Rico now. Carmen Julene Cruz is the mayor of the capital city, San Juan. Mayor Carmen Julene Cruz of San Juan, thank you very much for joining us. Tell us what the situation is there right now.
It is a humanitarian crisis. People are desperate for food, for water, for gas, for diesel in order to keep equipment that is necessary for people that are plugged into a respirator or an oxygen tank in order to survive. Our dialysis and cancer patients haven't been able to get most of their treatments on time, which of course is life-threatening. And even though there is aid here, there's reported to be about 3,000 containers of much-needed medical equipment or medical materials, any type of thing that you need. But we were talking here about primary necessities, just a glass of water. It doesn't matter if it's cold. It just matters that you can drink it. I've been getting calls and visits from mayors from towns outside of the metropolitan area telling me that, their people are drinking out of creeks and they're washing their clothes and they're washing themselves on the same creeks that they're drinking and eating and bathing. And so this is a real concern that the aftermath would be even worse because of the health conditions that could be created.
Well, what we've been reading today is that you do, as you just said, have containers there at the port in San Juan, but you don't have the ability to get a lot of this material to people. What is the holdup?
I don't understand what the holdup is. I do have to tell you that I did get a call this morning from Mr. Bosner at the White House. He did send John Raven, the FEMA regional coordinator that is in charge, and they have deputized 2 people from FEMA into San Juan. They are working very closely with a team of our people and a team of logistics experts that the mayor of New York, Mayor Bill de Blasio, and Melissa Mark Viverito have deployed to San Juan. So we will be in a position in the next 24 to 48 hours to start distributing whatever we've already gotten from wonderful mayors like the mayor of Miami Beach, Levine, that came personally yesterday to bring 7,000 pounds of stuff that we need, the mayor of Chicago, and the people of the Puerto Rican Human Rights Group in Chicago, Congressman Luis Gutierrez, Congressman Asensio in Florida. So the mayor of Boston has also reached out to see how they can help. So mayors are about helping people because we know we're at the forefront of people's needs, and we're pretty much, you can call us the first line of defense whenever it comes to situations like this. And we have not ever seen anything like this in our lifetime in Puerto Rico. We also need to reinvent and rethink how we are going to rebuild and what our goals are and our priorities when we do that.
But just very quickly here at the end, you do have enough people to get this material to where it's needed.
Yes, ma'am. We do have enough people, and you know, when there's a will, there's a way.
Mayor Carmen Yulín Cruz, the mayor of San Juan, I know we all are wishing you the very best at this very difficult time. Thank you.
Thank you very much.